to a reset.
Yeah, but where is he? You said he's
He's
here.
in the phone.
He's in felony court?
Yeah, he's over in felony court.
Okay. So have they already reset the felony case?
The felony case is gonna be set for some hearing on Thursday.
Okay, when, have Mr. Walker, I guess when he finished in felony court, come down here and we'll reset your case. Okay. Dwayne Carlisle?
He's present, Don.
This is cause number M331526, case of Style State of Texas versus Dwayne Edward Carlisle. Mr. Carlisle, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carlisle, how are you doing?
Good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Carlisle, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing good this morning, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
Doing great.
That's good. Now, Mr. Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Carlisle's case?
Your Honor, we had filed a motion for continuance. I was in trial in a murder case all last week. We finished at 7 o'clock Friday night. I have not had time to review everything with Mr. Carlisle and be prepared for trial today.
Okay.
I'd ask for a very short reset.
Okay, hold on a minute. I think it's soon. Okay. Is it that? State, you have any objections?
No objection.
Give us a continuous, is that enough time?
September 25th.
September
That's
25th.
fine.
Okay. Mr. Carlisle, your case will be reset for trial September 25th, 2023. Your attorney is going to give you a copy of your reset. Once you get the reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Macon, is this your only case?
That's the only.
Okay, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. This is cause number M331244. Case of style, the state of Texas versus, well, and we have another case cause number, let's see, we have two cases, cause number M331242 and cause number M331244. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Matthew Joseph Bailey. Mr. Bailey, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bailey?
Fantastic, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Bailey, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Glenn Crocker. Attorney Crocker, how are you doing?
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Now, Mr. Crocker, what is your announcement in Mr. Bailey's cases?
We're ready for trial, Your Honor.
State?
We're ready.
Ready? Okay. Now, Mr. Crocker, we have to give you a number. We don't know where he's gonna fall on the list at this time. So we normally would pick jurors at 1:30 on tomorrow. If your case is not on within the striking distance going to trial, then our office will give you a call.
Very well.
Okay, so just set him for 1:30 tomorrow. Okay. And if that's, you're not in striking distance, you're gonna get a different reset date. It'll be sent to you. Okay, okay, nice. You get your reset one. All right, y'all welcome. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Court is in session and calls number M333784. Case of style of state of Texas versus Deontay Jamon Richard. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Richard, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Richard, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Donald Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir, and you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Mr. Richard's case?
Your Honor,
This case is on the trial docket.
yes, sir. We're ready.
You ready? State?
We're ready now.
Okay. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, oh, it's on the announcement docket? Oh, excuse me. It's on the announcement docket. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement? It's not on the trial docket.
Your Honor, I'm going to talk to Ms. Porter and see what, if anything, we can work out.
Okay, so
It'll have to be a trial.
so you need me to hold on to your announcement right now to give you time to talk to the prosecutor?
That would be
Okay, I'll do that.
wonderful, sir.
All right, just have a seat. And you could have a seat as well. The court is in session and calls number 23CCCR 0106. The case is style the state of Texas versus Eric Gregory Chavez.
Yes, sir.
Chavez,
Yes.
okay. How are you doing, Mr. Chavez?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good. Let's see if we have bond conditions in this case. Mr. Chavez, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
Doing great, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Hall, what is your announcement in Mr. Chavez's case?
I've been speaking to Mr. Hopper about this case. We're close to a resolution, but we still have a couple of details to work out. If you could give us a couple of months or 2 more, a 60-day reset, well, I appreciate it.
Okay,
This is his first.
That's fine, Judge.
okay. This is, you say it's first court appearance?
It's a 2023 case. Judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have any bond conditions? Okay, I need to
He
give her
was supposed
some.
to get a interlock and he got an interlock.
Okay, that's good, but I'm just need to give him the bond conditions in writing. We don't have them in writing in the file. That's what it says. Now, let me ask you here, he was required to get the interlock, I guess, when he bonded out of the Jefferson County Jail.
Yes, sir.
That's what happened. Okay,
Bail condition. And he's in compliance.
okay. Okay. Need to get a copy of this, Bremer. Hey. Need one copy. Okay, now, Mr. Again. I'm going to give you some bond conditions. And the bond conditions that I'm going to give you is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. And it reads as follows: following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Yes. Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition? Yes. And condition number 3 does not apply. However, condition number 4 does apply because the offense that you've been charged with is a subsequent offense listed under Section 49.04 of the Texas Penal Code. And condition number 4 states as follows: a defendant who has been arrested or accused of any subsequent offense listed under Section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with a written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before the 10th day after arrest. Now, your attorney has just informed the court that you have an interlock device. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now,
There's
okay,
receipt.
we'll have your attorney to give that to our court coordinator. She's gonna make a copy of it for you. Your case is going to be reset. Once your case is reset, you'll be given a copy of the bond conditions and you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
so just go in front of the window in front of the court coordinator. You're gonna give him a reset date, 60 days. Well, this is his copy. Thank you. Yeah, we have. Next case is cause number M326-776, case of Styles State of Texas versus Tuesday Bowser. Ms. Bowser, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Bowser? That's good. Ms. Bowser, you represented in your case. Your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Great job.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Who's the prosecutor?
Ms. Porter.
Porter. Mr. Cole, Ms. Bowser's case is on the court's trial docket. What is your announcement?
We're ready to take this charge.
State?
We're ready to try.
Okay, Mr. Cole, we're going to, we pick a jury tomorrow at 1:30. You need to be here with Ms. Bowser at 1:30 unless the court calls you to inform you that your case in all probability will not be going because we have a number of cases. We have to give it a trial order. I don't know where this case is going to fall at this moment. Okay.
It's at number 3 we have, so it's up at the top.
Oh, it is? Okay, well, you need to be here tomorrow then at 1:30. Okay, give her a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Okay, thank you. And y'all have a blessed day.
You say.
Next case is Ruben Gutierrez, cause number M324403. Mr.
Yes,
Gutierrez,
Sean.
your full name is Ruben Gutierrez.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Gutierrez?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Gutierrez, you represented in your case by your attorney Jansen Bailey, who is appearing via Zoom. Attorney Bailey, how are you doing?
I'm well, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Bailey, what is your announcement in Mr. Gutierrez's case?
We're ready, Your Honor.
State,
Thanks, right, Joe.
okay. Is that number one?
That's what I told you.
Okay, so you need, this is the oldest case, this is number one case. So Mr. Bailey, you need to be here tomorrow at 1:30. Pick a jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Gutierrez, please stand over there. You're gonna get your reset. You need to be back tomorrow at 1:30. All right, stand in front of our court coordinator. Next case is John Landrum. This is cause number M325643. Case is filed the state of Texas versus John Anthony Landrum. Mr. Landrum, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Landrum?
You're good, Your Honor.
That, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Landrum. You're represented in your case by Attorney Jansen Bailey, who's appearing via Zoom. Mr. Bailey, what is your announcement in Mr. Landrum's case?
We're ready, Your Honor.
State,
Thanks, right, Joe.
state is ready? Okay.
That's the second oldest, Joe.
Okay, so Mr. Jansen Bailey, Mr. Landrum's case is the number 2 case on the court docket. So you need to be here tomorrow at 1:30? Yes. Yeah. Y'all need, but yeah, both of y'all need to be tomorrow at 1:30. That's the time that we pick the jury. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're gonna stand over behind Mr. Gutierrez and get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
That's
You have
my
a
last.
blessed day.
Can I leave, Your Honor?
Yes, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, sir. Bye.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. Hold on. Excuse me. Mr. Paget.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Paget. You have a guy by the name of what is it, Arriaga?
Yes, Your Honor. I need to let me know when I can speak and I'll inform you on what's going on. I'll
Wait.
update you.
Okay, it's my understanding of talking to the that he's deaf.
That's correct, Your Honor. My client had an interpreter that he wanted to use. However, once they negotiated, he's no longer going to be able to afford to have the interpreter here. Therefore, I'm going to need to file a motion to have an interpreter here because my client will not be able to afford to do it. And I was notified of that a short time ago, a couple of weeks ago. So I'll be filing a motion to request an interpreter.
Okay, give us a reset date. Yeah. Give him a chance to file this motion. Okay, this case is gonna, he is a gentleman with him?
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor. That's
Yeah,
the gentleman who I've been communicating with.
No, we're gonna give him the reset. Just having to come up with him. Okay, that's September 18th, 2023. This case is gonna be reset to. And Mr. Paget will get your reset to you in the it'll be sent to you. And the gentleman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, he's deaf? Okay, so both of them deaf.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a family member who I'm communicating with by text this morning. And the person who translates for us.
Okay.
She's not present in the
Let me ask you
courtroom this morning.
Can he read and write the English language?
My understanding is, and he also reads lips very well. He and I communicated on more than one occasion.
Okay, because what we're going to do, we're going to give him a reset that has the date on it, and he'll know when to come back.
Yes, and my office is going to contact the family member right now to let them know.
Mr. Arriaga, would you please stand over there in front of our clerk? You're welcome. All right. Now, Mr. Paget, your other client, Mr. Was that Walker?
Yes, Jared Walker, Your Honor, assault family violence. He should be
Right.
present.
He was present. The court is not letting him in until he's dressed properly. He had a do-rag on his head.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I
Okay,
apologize.
so we need to give him a call. And then you can let us know when he's appropriate to be let back into the session.
Well, he should be able to just take it off, correct, Your Honor? Or
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
I
sure.
mean, yeah, but he needs to appear when I zoom in and shouldn't be on him, so you can call him and tell him to take
Yes,
it
Your
off.
Honor. I'll take care of that right now, Your Honor. I apologize
thank
for
you.
that. And
All
I'll
right.
take care of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Elisa St. Julian. Okay, your full name is Elisa B. St. Julian. Now, Ms. St. Julian, you're represented in this. Well, first of all, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Ms. St. Julian, you're represented in your cases, cause number M332658 and cause number M332962. You're represented by Attorney Thomas Burbank. Attorney Burbank is currently in trial in federal court. So your cases have to be reset. All right. So just stand in front of the court coordinator. She's going to reset your cases. Once your cases are reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Burbank.
There's two on page 4.
Marlon Raleigh. See in the memo, he has two new cases. Okay, but they didn't have them. Okay. All right. Follows. Yeah, okay. Now this is Mr. Marlon Raleigh. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Raleigh, you have three cases. First case is cause number 23CCCR0671, cause number 23CCCR0672, and cause number M325664. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Marlon Raleigh. Mr. Marlon Raleigh, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Raleigh, on your third case, cause number M325664, we show that you are represented by attorney Thomas Burbank. However, on the next two cases, cause number 23CCCR0671 and cause number 23CCCR0672, we do not show that you have an attorney of record on that case. I thank the bailiff and reminded the court that the last time that you and Mr. Burbank was here, Mr. Burbank was going to be filing a letter of representation on these other two cases. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I actually had.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to reset your cases. Mr. Burbank, he has a felony case? Okay, we're going to reset all three of your cases on the same date that your felony cases reset, which is October 16th of 2023. Mr. Raleigh, you can get your resets. Once you get your resets from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Okay, you're welcome. Please get your reset. Okay, this is, next case is cause number M 333-938. Case is style the state of Texas versus Johnny Wallace. Mr. Wallace, would you please come forward? Mr. Wallace, your full name is Johnny Wallace?
Correct.
How you doing, Mr. Wallace? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Wallace. You were represented in your case by Attorney Thomas Burbank, and Attorney Burbank is currently in federal court, in trial in federal court. Now, you have a felony case, is that correct?
Correct.
What is your felony court date? Do you know?
No, I signed for probation today.
Oh, you signed for probation today.
I still can't.
Okay,
Think what I'm at the first.
yeah, I know.
Ooh.
So what we're gonna do, give him a short reset, a short 30 days or less to, okay, this case will be reset to September 6th of 2023. Our court administrator is going to give you a reset. Once you get your reset date from our court administrator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of the administrator.
You know, I just got a mess. That's it. On the ball.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. Cause number M 332-940 and cause number M 332-942. Both cases are style the state of Texas versus David Fitzgerald Frank. Mr. Frank, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Frank? Okay, Mr. Frank, the bailiff just informed me that in these 2 cases, you've hired Attorney Burbank, is that correct? Attorney Burbank has not sent in a letter of representation on these cases, but we're going to reset your case and give Mr. Burbank an opportunity to get those letters of representation in. Now, you also have a felony case, is that correct? When is your felony case set? Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset these cases on the felony date. And basically what that means is we won't be able to give you a date today. However, well, we're gonna have to give you a date because we can't, Mr. Burbank don't have a letter of representation, and so we can't just send one out to him. Okay, could you check to see if they haven't? Okay, so just let's give him a date. Give him maybe a 30-day reset, and then we can reset it till a felony. When Mr. Burbank get his letter of representations in. Okay, stand in front of our administrator, get your reset. Oh. Julio Perez. Mr. Perez. How you doing? Your full name is Julio Cesar Perez? Oh, he speaks Spanish? Okay, now Mr. Perez speaks Spanish, and his attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, is very fluent in Spanish. Mr. Gilthorpe, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gilthorpe, do you swear affirm to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish to help you out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. You're gonna ask Mr. Perez how he's doing.
Very well, thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
Doing well, Dave, thank you.
Okay, now, Mr. Gilthorpe, what is your announcement in Mr. Perez's case?
Because we've reached an agreement with the state, they're going to dismiss this case in exchange for a forfeiture.
Oh, okay. So y'all just need some time to get the paperwork?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead on and well, I'll give you time to go over the paperwork and sign it with your client.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll call you back.
Weapon.
Okay,
And
excuse me.
this one,
Thanks.
interference, is out of the same criminal.
Oh, okay,
So-
it's criminal, okay,
So we're gonna defer to felony court.
okay,
We're not gonna do anything until that. that's
Okay.
resolved.
okay, so once he finished, he just needs to come down here.
Get a reset.
Right, right. And we put it on the same date and same time.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll be happy to.
Hey, Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session as clause number M331604, case of South State of Texas versus Jared Christopher Walker. Mr.
Yes,
Walker
sir.
is via Zoom. Mr. Walker, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself? Sorry about the do-rag earlier.
Okay. Now, Mr. Walker, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget, Attorney Paget. We just lost Mr. Paget. He's gonna zoom back in. We'll just wait for him to zoom back in.
You need me to mute my mic again?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. For some reason, it kicked me out.
Okay. Mr. Walker is represented by the Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Walker's case?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Who's the
Ms.
prosecutor?
Porter.
Well, this is Jared Walker on the trial docket.
Yes, Your Honor. It's Ms. Porter is the prosecutor.
Yes, she's here.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
What is your announcement? Ready?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Paget, we haven't finished giving all of the cases numbers. And so this case is set for pick a jury tomorrow at 1:30. If that changes, our office will give you a call.
He's way down the list, but he's on the list. He's 16 on 16 case on the list, age-wise.
Okay, so Mr. Paget, it looks like
Yes, Your
we'll
Honor.
be able to get to you on tomorrow. They say you number 16 on the list.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so we're going to give you a reset. Just hold on for your reset. Give us a reset date.
No problem, Your Honor.
Okay, this is set for September 11th of 2023. Mr. Paget, your reset will be sent to you, and Mr. Walker, get in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will both will be given copies of your reset. Mr. Walker, you're free to go. Get in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Paget, is this your only case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go as well. Your reset will be sent to you, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you.
You have
You
a
as well,
blessing,
Your Honor.
Judge.
All right, thank you. One on the announcement, we'll do that one first. William Ray Porter Jr. William Porter, oh, that Portier?
He has a felony, he just made an appearance on the film.
Well, he needs to make, should make one here too.
He had an appearance on 252nd.
Okay,
I'll have to get.
okay, we'll call you other cases and you'll give you some time to get Mr. Portier. On the inside, yeah. Okay, Dwight Lewis, Where is Mr.?
He was original, I'll stand in for.
Okay, because he had the numbers on the cases. I just need.
Oh, okay. Which one is, you just called?
This is the white Jermaine Lewis, cause number M326856. Mr. Lewis,
He's 15.
is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Lewis? And Mr. Lewis, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Ralph Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, how are you doing?
I will, Your Honor, thank you.
Doing well. Now, Mr. Kimbler, Mr. Lewis' case is on the trial docket. What is your announcement?
Ready.
State?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Kimbler just informed that this case is probably number 15
Mhm.
of 16 cases. So the likelihood of us reaching that case would be 14 cases above it would have to all get disposed of today. And so we're gonna have to reset this case to give you another trial date.
It's fine.
Okay, so you're gonna, what's that date? So this case is gonna be reset to September 25th of 2023. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Kimbler, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. M326856 is the cause number.
326-856.
John Trimble. Cause number M327802. This is,
Yes, ma'am.
this must be,
We're ready.
okay, so Mr. Trimble, is that your full name, John Trimble? Okay, and Mr. Kimbler, you're now ready?
Yes.
State,
We're ready.
okay, what's the number on his?
7.
7? Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow at 1:30. All right, just, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Next case is cause number M327885. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Eduardo Rodriguez Rocha. Mr. Rocha, is that your full name?
Yes, Rodriguez Rocha.
Hmm?
Yes, Rodriguez Rocha.
Yes, Eduardo Rodriguez Rocha.
Yes,
How you doing, Mr. Rocha?
good.
Oh, that's good, Mr. Rocha. You're represented by your attorney, Ralph Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement in Mr. Rocha's case?
Ready.
State,
We're ready, Your Honor.
and what number we have on?
Number
it?
9.
Number 9. Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow too.
Be back at 1:30.
At 1:30, just, she's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Cause number M330108. Hillary in Godbowl.
Do those. We can talk about it, but that's what a follow motion. That's all of it.
Okay, this is cause number M330108. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Hillary Ann Godbowl. Ms. Godbowl, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Godbowl? That's good, Ms. Godbowl. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Ralph Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement in Ms. Godbowl's case?
Ready.
State,
State's ready, Judge. I would like to remind the court, like, there's a co-defendant on this case, and it's Mr. Reed. It's
Right.
also on the trial docket.
right?
Now, we filed a motion to consolidate.
You already filed it?
Yeah, to do them at the same time.
Okay,
And I don't think the council has an objection. However,
Let me consult with the defendant. I don't think we would be trying both together. Or you want to be trying to. We talked to the other defendant.
oh, okay,
I will let the court know that this is number 10 on our list. This is way down the list, but,
well, okay,
and that's going off the earliest, I mean, it's the oldest
understand,
filing, so, I mean,
okay.
it's in the middle.
So we'll We be 10 down, so they'll still have to be required to be. Just go ahead, yeah, they'll be back at 1:30. Just have a seat. Okay, Jacob Allen Reed.
That's his.
Okay, I think he said he needed to talk to. Mr. Reed, this your full name?
Yes, sir.
Jacob Allen Reed. Now, Mr. Reed, you're represented by your attorney, right? Attorney Kimbler, how are you doing?
Well, you're
Hey, Kimbler, what's your announcement?
right.
State,
That's right.
and this is number 10, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, we got 10. All right. We need to have y'all here tomorrow at 1:30. All right. All right. Hey, well, she's gonna give you y'all resets.
Before you before you-
Next case is cause number M330825, case of Style State of Texas versus Xavier Ozan. Mr. Ozan, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Ozan? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Ozan, you represent any case by Attorney Wright Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement?
Right.
State,
We're ready, Your
what number is?
This
See.
Okay, we're gonna reset Mr. Ozan. Mr. Ozan, your case is gonna be reset. Stay on our trial docket. Just have a seat, and then after our court administrator reset those two cases, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Just have a seat at the wall, on the wall, first chair. He was number 14. Okay. Haley McCray. Cause number M331312. Ms. McCray, your full name is Haley Renee McCray. How you doing, Ms. McCray? That's good, Ms. McCray. You're represented by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement in Ms. McCray's case? And state,
We're ready, Your
and what's the number on that one?
12, right?
It's 12.
Okay, so we're gonna reset Ms. McCray. We have 11 cases set ahead of yours. So just have a seat in that third chair by the wall. No, that's Ozan, Xavier Ozan.
Yeah, well, that was McCray. I was in.
No, I was talking to Brella. Alexis Green. Alexis Green. Oh, she's in a wheelchair.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay. You could push her back some so I can see her.
No, she's.
Okay, that's good. Now, Ms. Green, your full name is Alexis LaShawn Green.
Yes.
How you doing, Ms. Green? That's good. Ms. Green, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Wright Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, what's your announcement in Ms. Green's case?
Well, Your Honor, I'm ready. I don't know physically if she's up for trial. I'd have to defer to Ms. Green to advise the court how you are physically for trial. Could you sit at the table all day to try a case, or how are you feeling?
No, I can't.
Well, you can sit, how, her sitting, or you know, any kind of medication or things like that.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
I'll defer. I'm ready, Your Honor. I'll defer to the court.
We're ready.
so what's our number on the list?
17.
Okay.
So,
She's the last one on the list.
oh, not the metal.
Okay, close to the last one. So this case is gonna be reset. And Ms. Green, going to be praying that you have a full and speedy recovery. Your case is gonna be reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Just don't leave that.
And she's gonna come and get her.
So I have to read you.
Yeah.
I think, okay, Mr. Kimbler, Mr. Kimbler, I think that's the last one that you had on the
Okay.
trial docket.
Okay.
And then you're going to you're going to get in contact with the
Yeah.
client that you have on the announcement.
Here, I'll try to get
Yeah.
back.
Okay,
I need to advise the court too. I've got to be in Chambers County tomorrow at 1:30 for a arraignment on the case. Since we're here and we got 1:30. I
okay,
don't know. It'll be
okay. Well, we got a couple of cases ahead of yours. Okay,
Let me see if I can get in touch with Courtney.
yeah. Now you're gonna be in district court?
Sir?
You say gonna be in district court?
I'm going back down there.
I'm talking about is that Chambers County?
253rd, Judge County.
Just case, he only has once a month.
Okay, okay. At district court, okay. William O'Neill Walker?
Your Honor, he's in the.
Okay, just I'll let him come on up.
I just talked to the court clerk in Judge Stevens' courtroom. And she said that his case will not be reset until tomorrow morning. He's number 7 on the trial docket there, and his case will not be reset until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock when they call the docket again.
So we just need to have him, so you come in tomorrow morning, come into court tomorrow morning for 9 o'clock, is that correct? Is he set?
Felony court probably.
You
so.
set over there tomorrow morning at 9
He
o'clock?
just told me they were gonna give me a reset date for October. That's all he told me.
Oh, for October. So what we need to do is, we're going to have our court administrator to check the felony docket to see when they reset that case. And when that case is reset, we're going to reset your misdemeanor case on the same date.
Okay.
So we understand that it's not in the computer today,
Yes, sir.
but it may be in tomorrow or the day after. So we'll have our coordinator checking that. And you're gonna do like you did today. On that day when you come back, check in here. We'll take care of your felony and then come back here.
Yes, sir. I think it's like the second time I had to do it, so I'm not familiar with it now.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm just,
Yes, sir.
because some people go to
Yeah.
felony court and leave.
No, I don't know.
Next thing you know, they have a warrant out.
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go and you have a blessed
All
day.
right, you too.
All right.
So I'll just wait till I hear something y'all.
No, we're gonna send whenever that date is reset, it will be sent to you.
Good.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Now, at this time, the court is going to be in recess. Give Mr. Boudreaux an opportunity to talk. And we're waiting on some of the other attorneys on the other cases that's still on the docket. Those attorneys are in court in some of the felony courts. Next case is cause number M329508, case is styled the state of Texas versus Angel Elise Fisher. Ms. Fisher is on Zoom. Ms. Fisher, you can take your mic off of mute. Ms. Fisher, you can take your mic off of mute. I think Ms. Fisher she was on iPhone 77.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Fisher, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Fisher, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Judge.
That's good, Mr. LeBlanc. What is your announcement in Ms. Fisher's case? This is on a trial docket.
We're ready, Your Honor.
State.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, what's the cause? I mean, what's
Number
the?
4.
It's number 4.
Mhm.
Okay, so Mr. LeBlanc, you need to be in court tomorrow. You and Ms. Fisher need to be in court tomorrow at 1:30. That's the time that we pick a jury.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Judge.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we'll see y'all tomorrow at 1:30. And y'all have, Ms. Fisher, you have a blessed day. Mr. LeBlanc, is this the case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so you're free to go. You have a blessed day, and you're free to go as well, Ms. Fisher, and you have a blessed day. See y'all tomorrow at 1.
You do as well, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The person that's on Zoom that just has Zoom user, you can take your mic off of mute and please identify yourself.
Cody Clifton.
Okay, Mr. Clifton, we're waiting on your attorney. You can put your mic back on mute. Thank you. Thank you. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number M333784, case is styled the state of Texas versus Dante Jamon Richard or Richard? Richard. Mr. Richard, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Richard, would you please raise your right hand? And Mr. Richard, would you please take off your shades?
This is my son. This is my
Your son,
eyeglasses.
oh, that's your eyeglasses? Oh, okay. Now, Mr. Richard, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Richard, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Richard, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Richard?
All right.
That's good, Mr. Richard. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Yes, fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, do you waive a record
We do, Your
in
Honor.
Mr. Richard's case? Okay. Let me do this. Put FM, family violence. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Miss. Oh, okay. Now, Mr. Richard, I have before me a document that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this document that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Deontay Jamon Richard, on or about October 21st, 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence. Mr. Richard, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Richard, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Richard, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Richard, is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document before me that is titled Trial Court Certification, the Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Richard, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Boudreaux went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Richard, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and I also have before me in the court's file State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2 into evidence?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you've advised and counseled Mr. Richard. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
And Mr. Richard, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Richard, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty or no contest, the state is offered 10 days in jail, Jefferson County Jail. He's going to be able to serve them starting not this weekend, but the following weekend, on weekends only. And he's given credit for 1 day.
Do we have a affidavit? Okay, thank you. Mr. Richard, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 1 day that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $292. Will you be able to pay the $292 court cost?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also be required to serve the balance of your jail time on weekends. Or we're going to say on consecutive weekends. On consecutive weekends beginning. What is the beginning date?
A week from Friday, good.
Is that August 18th?
Yes, sir.
That would be the 18th. Your Honor.
He has a funeral to go to this weekend. So.
August 18th, 2023. 6 p.m. Okay, now, Mr. Richard, your jail time is going to start on August 18th, 2023 at or before 6 p.m. And you will be serving consecutive weekends until your time is complete to serve. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Richard, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Richard, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, would you please hand this ammunition to your attorney, to your client, and I will go over this document with you, Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux just handed you a document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess a Firearm or Ammunition. And I will go over this document with you, and it reads as follows. In accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, in the Texas Penal Code, Section 46.013A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Richard, the written admonition that has been handed to you is for your records. Now, Mr. Richard, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you've finished following the directions of the clerk, and she gives you the paperwork, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Richards, your attorney informs that you'll be going to a funeral. You and your family have my sincere condolences. Okay, please stand on the X.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold
Hold on a
I
minute.
hope if we go
Mr. Gilthar. Yeah, he's at home Zoom. Where's your guy? We thought y'all went out to sign some paperwork and come back in.
He signed the forfeiture, and then
But
after
we-
signing the
we-
forfeiture.
But he has to come back. I know we come before the court on that for this. That's how we always been doing it.
It was my understanding he was free to go after we signed the forfeiture and he left.
No, the court didn't tell him he was free to go.
I can try and get in touch with him. I don't know if he'll answer, but he went back to work.
Okay, you can just try to get back in touch with him. Now we just have to reset him for him to come in and do it. Yeah, okay.
I mean, if the case is dismissed, I don't know what,
He hadn't been dismissed yet.
okay.
All right.
I'll see if I can get in touch with him.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Jefferson County Court at 11:02 is back in session. The court is in session. Clause number M3211179. Case is style of state of Texas versus William Ray Portier. Mr. Portier, William Ray Portier Jr. Okay, Mr. Portier, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Portier, you're represented by your attorney Ralph Kimbler, Attorney Kimbler. This case is on our announcement docket. It's a motion to revoke probation. I see that he has a felony that's also set.
That's correct. The felony. I would assume that's a predicate count on the NPRP revocation. If the court wants to carry the NPRP felony.
Which say what you want to do. This is a motion to revoke probation, and he has a felony case.
New felony.
New felony, and it's so it's the condition one in arm.
Probably.
We need that resolution before we can move forward on the motion.
So just
Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. 40. Do you have a felony court date set?
They just set it for trial today. No, so I mean, it hasn't been set yet.
I don't know if it's in the system yet. We just did the announcement today.
Whose court?
252nd.
256. Okay. What we're gonna do, we'll have our court administrator constantly check the computer to see when the case, your felony case is resetting. When it's reset, we're gonna reset the misdemeanor on the same day that your felony. Okay, so stay in contact with your attorney, your bonds, and you're free to go.
And you're still.
And you have a blessed day.
You're still on probation, so you still need to be reported.
Right, misdemeanor probation. Right?
Misdemeanor.
Yeah, well, my probation officer, when I talked to him when all this first happened, he said it would still be active, but I wouldn't have to report.
Well,
He's already passed the discharge.
well,
Well, I think it's next month.
just let me call him and make sure that
Yeah.
that's correct.
Sure, that's right.
Okay. Well, I need to talk to the supervisor. just
Oh, you can
sure.
talk to him and, yeah, but because all intents and purposes, you're still on probation. Your probation hadn't been revoked. Okay, they just filed a motion
Yeah.
to revoke your
I
probation.
understand.
Okay, but so you're still on probation.
So you still should be reporting.
Okay,
Okay. I'll
All
stay in
right.
contact with him.
okay,
All right, you can go.
all right. Now, Mr. Adams, let me do this here. I don't know if you've been informed, but none of the tablets are working. So if you needed to use a tablet, you can't use it. If you're you'll have to do paper. We got paper, okay?
Hey, so you changed your mind?
The tablet's not working.
I want to finish saying, go back to the paper, man.
Hey, well, Yep. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number M332938. The case is styled State of Texas versus Taylor Diane McAdams. Ms. McAdams, is that your full name? Ms. McAdams, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. McAdams, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. McAdams, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Ms. McAdams? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. McAdams, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Marcus Wilkerson, or Attorney Wilkerson. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Attorney Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Ms. McAdams' case?
Yeah, sure. Honor.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Colby Hawkfire. Attorney Hawkfire, how are you doing?
Good, John.
Ms. McAdams, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Taylor Diane McAdams, on or about July 1st of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Ms. McAdams, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. McAdams, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mrs. McAdams, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Ms. McAdams, there are a set of initials, TM, that are on a line next to a box that's checked non contendere, which means no contest. Just place your initials on this document. On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Ms. McAdams, is this your signature? I also have before me a document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Ms. McAdams, before you sign and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Wilkerson went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Wilkerson, I have to, there's some language in this document that I need to strike out.
Okay.
Because the language that I'm striking out stating that she was informed that she had a right to an attorney, she waived it, and she did not waive it because you were appointed. Let me see what be appointed, that's Richard understanding.
That was, I believe, the
It is,
form at one time, Judge.
right. Here you go, Mr. Wilkerson, you could get here and look, that's what I struck through, and you could have you and your client initial. Okay, so now, again, Ms. Adams. Since initially these documents, the attorney went over these documents with you, is that correct? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. And you understand everything that the attorney went over? Okay. Ms. Adams, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me, states exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and states exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer states 1 and 2? Any objections, Mr. Wilkerson?
No, Your Honor.
No objection, states exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Wilkerson, you've advised in counsel Ms. McAdams, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Ms. McAdams, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representations? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. McAdams, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Exchange for a plea of guilty and no contest, Gates agreed to recommend 90 days probated for 1 year, $1,000 fine and court costs, 80 hours community service, interlock device, and all other standard terms and conditions for a DW operator.
Okay. Ms. McAdams, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $452. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Ms. McAdams, do you understand? Now, Ms. McAdams, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $238 a month. Will you be able to pay the $238 each month? You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Ms. McAdams, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. McAdams, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. McAdams, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following the clerk directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. Thank you. And Mr. Wilkerson, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay. We're back on the record and calls number M327164, case of style of state of Texas versus Donnie Office Citizen. Mr. Citizen, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Citizen? That's good. Mr. Citizen, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Citizen, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Citizen, you may put your hand down. Mr. Citizen, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams, Attorney Adams. How are you doing?
Doing well.
And do you waive a record in Mr. Citizen's case?
Yeah.
Mr. Citizen, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Citizen, it alleges that you, Donnie Office Citizen, on or about May 9th of 2020, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Citizen, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Citizen, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Citizen, I have before me a document. Let's see. I just need to make a correction on something. No, Mr. Adams. What I did, it was in this document is the one that they use for pro se clients. Okay. Also, I'm gonna have to check the box here that says that, we don't even have the offense in here.
DWI,
Yeah,
but alcohol content greater than 0.15.
but you need a plea form?
Agreed.
Yeah, she has a.
Okay.
Okay, now, Mr. Citizen, I have before me a document that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On this document, Mr. Citizen, you notice that on the line that, Kobe needs to sign this too.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, Mr. Citizen, you notice on this here document, it states the offense driving while intoxicated with a BAC of 0.15 or more, and it has the date of the offense, May 9th, 2020. You see that? Also, it has the box that's checked because this is a Class A misdemeanor.
Yes, sir.
And for the Class A misdemeanor, range of punishment is confinement in the county jail that does not exceed 365 days and a fine that does not exceed $4,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, on page 2 of this same document, there are some markers here that's marked out that was saying that you was waiving your right to an attorney, but you were not waiving your right to an attorney because you have an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Now, also there's a set of initials, DC, on the line next to a box that's checking over contingent. Did you place your initials DC on this document?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The next document is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Citizen, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Citizen, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Adams, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Adams went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Citizen, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibits 1 and State's Exhibit 2. State's Exhibit 2 is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Any objections? No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Court will take judicial notice of State's Exhibit number 2. Mr. Adams, you'll be advising counsel. Mr. Citizen, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
He's perfectly competent.
And Mr. Citizen, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Citizen, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand time you're mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty or contest, states agree to recommend 20 days in Jefferson County Jail and court calls. The defendant has credit for 4 days. I believe the defendant is going to report on weekends, and it will start on August 18th, 2023 before 6 p.m. That's next Friday.
Okay, so his jail time is gonna start when?
8/18/23. That's next Friday. Not this Friday, but the next Friday, prior to 6 p.m.
What's this here on this for time, sir?
4 days he's gonna get. I put 4 days on there.
It didn't look like 4. Oh, you got it down here. Oh, okay.
Got 4 days.
Okay, so you got 4 days. Okay.
Credit. 20 but 4 days. But
By knocking themselves.
Yeah, you'd have to. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Now, Mr. Citizen, the state is offering that you serve 20 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 4 days that you've already served. The court cost in this case is $452. Mr. Citizen, would you be able to pay the $452 court cost? So you won't be able to pay it. Now, Mr. Citizen, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Adams, could you show this document to your client?
I did.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
Flipped on to page 2 on the backside. There's there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant's signature. Is that your signature? Now, Mr. Citizen, is everything in that document still true and correct today? Okay, now, Mr. Citizen, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. Based on that finding of indigence, the court costs in this case of $452 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And Mr. Citizen, do you understand the state's, okay, Mr. Citizen, your jail time is to start on August 18, 2023 at about 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Citizen, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Citizen, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Citizen, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. She's gonna give you the paperwork that you need to bring with you when you turn yourself in at the Jefferson County Jail. All right. Do you have the rest of this paperwork? Yeah.
Then, then, all right, so beginning of the day. So.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in the case of Cody Michael Clifton, cause number M333476. Mr. Clifton is Zoom. Mr. Clifton, how are you doing?
Good, I'm doing good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Clifton, you're represented in your case by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Clifton's case?
Just like to set his case on the trial docket.
Reset for trial. Give us a reset date. September 25th of 2023. Mr. Clifton, your case will be set for trial for September 25th of 2023. Your attorney will, and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Mr. Benoit's present again.
Mr. Benoit, would you come forward? Okay, this is cause number M333-076. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Dudley Benoit Jr. Mr. Benoit, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Benoit? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Benoit, you are also represented in your case by your attorney, Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Benoit's case?
Judge, what we're asking to do, that's still a trial. That's still a trial. Now, I am going to meet with the state after court docket today, and if we can come to a resolution, we may move them up for a plea. But in the meantime, it's still a trial.
State's ready, Judge. This is number 18 out of 19.
Okay.
So if the court's agreeable that we're gonna reset it because it's way down the list,
Right.
we'll have time to talk between them.
Okay. Could you,
And when the resolution.
September 25th?
Up to a plea, okay.
Okay, this case is September 25th. Reset for trial 2023. Give us Mr. Benoit, you stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Your attorney is going to give you a copy of your reset. Once you get a copy of your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Thanks for being patient with us. You're welcome. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number M334014. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Larry J. Davila. Mr. Davila, is that your full name?
Yes, Judge.
Or Davila or Davila?
Davila.
Davila. Mr. Davila, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Davila, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davila, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Davila?
I'm doing all right, Judge. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Davila, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
And Mr. Galmore, do you waive a record in Mr. Davila's case?
We do.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Davila, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Larry J. Davila, on or about November 24th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, state, are you electing to abandon the enhancement paragraph?
Yes, we are.
Okay, the state is electing to abandon the enhancement paragraph. The enhancement paragraph makes this a Class A misdemeanor. But because the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, this will be a Class B misdemeanor, be a lower charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay, so you'll be charged with a Class B misdemeanor instead of a Class A misdemeanor. All right. Now, to this Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Okay. And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2. Now, Mr. Davila, what I just did, I just wrote on the Jefferson County, well, the misdemeanor plea admonishments that the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph that is charged. Do you see that? And I put my initials over here. Okay. Now, Mr. Davila, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page, and this is a state misdemeanor plea admonishments, on page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials, actually 2 sets of initials. One of them is contradicting the other, but you could take the second one out. The first set of initials is on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go ahead on it. You can take that up because he didn't waive his right. And also I need to make the change on that document. Okay, I'm gonna make the change on this document. That states that I have been nominated. Let me see, I will be appointed for that. I wish to, okay. What I did, I just walked through the portion of this motion that says that he was waiving his right to an attorney. He's not.
Right, we agree with that.
I'm gonna put my initials, go ahead on it, put your initials on it. Ms. Porter, you can put your initials on it
Okay,
too.
I got it. Reaching a good one.
And Ms. Porter, you could go ahead on the initial. All right, thank you. Now, Mr. Davila, okay. On page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And I have a document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Oh, he's gonna have to put his information, his address and stuff. That's required, isn't it? By the clerk's office. Oh, yeah, you can, take this. You can go ahead and date that. Thank you. Okay. Now, Mr. DeVille, I'm showing you this document is titled Discovery Certification, Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. This is your document on the line that's titled Defendant.
Yes.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top. First box states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Davila, before you signed and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Galmore, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the best of your knowledge?
sir.
Mr. Davila, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 in evidence?
Yes, we will.
Any objections? No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Galmore, you've advised and counseled Mr. Davila. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Davila, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davila, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that you are freely and voluntarily, that your waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt state. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty or no contest, the state has offered 180 days in jail, probate over 12 months, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, interlock, and court costs.
Okay, Mr. Davila, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $407. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $166 a month. Will you be able to pay the $166 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Davila, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Judge.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Judge.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Davila, I will accept your plea. I will follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Davila, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
You're welcome. Thank you. Esteban. Let me see the paperwork on Mr. Gilthorpe. That paper that we had on Mr. Gilthorpe, the one that we have with the Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number M327738. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Julio Cesar Perez. Mr. Perez speaks Spanish. His attorney, Attorney Gilthorpe, also speaks Spanish and English. Mr. Gilthorpe, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gilthorpe, do you swear to interpret English to Spanish and Spanish to English to help you go out?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Gilthorpe, I have before me Mr. Gilthorpe, do you waive a record in this case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Gilthorpe, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. Ask your client, Mr. Perez, if this is his signature on the line that's titled defendant. Okay, you could also ask him that before he signed this document, did you, his attorney, go over this document in Spanish?
Yes.
Ask him if he understood everything that you want to.
Yes, that in exchange for forfeiting the weapon, my
Okay.
case will be closed.
Okay, and and ask him if everything in this document is true and correct to the best of his knowledge.
Entonces, esto es lo que se quisiera ver, si es correcto, ¿no? Yes.
And ask Mr. Perez if he wants to, court to grant this motion.
¿Usted cree que el corte aprueba este trato de que se acepta esto? Yes.
Okay. Mr. Perez, the court is granting your motion to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Beaumont Police Department. State, you have a motion to dismiss.
We have, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Perez, the state is dismissing this case. I'm signing the dismissal. You'll be able to get a copy of this dismissal from our court clerk. Okay, this will conclude your case. Just have a seat. Okay, once you get your paperwork, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay. We have Esteban Avalos.
We do.
Who is that? Mr. Avalos? Would you please come forward? Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number M328468, and the second case is cause number M331226. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Esteban Avalos Jr. Mr. Avalos, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Avalos, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Avalos, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Avalos, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Avalos?
I'm good. How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Avalos, you're here represented by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, do you waive a record in Mr. Avalos' cases?
We do, Judge.
Mr. Avalos, in cause number M328648, I have before me a document that is titled
There's I have 468, is that right?
M328468.
3, 3, 4, okay, yeah, I was
Yeah.
just making sure that.
Yeah.
The same cause.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Avalos, in cause number M328468, I have before me a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, it alleges
State, at this time, Your Honor, the state's going to abandon allegations 1 through 5 and proceed only on allegations 6 through 7.
okay, that's fine. Now, Mr. Avalos, in this motion that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Esteban Avalos Jr., on May 4th of 2021, that the court found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. The judge has said court place you on unadjudicated probation for a period of 15 months. In this motion, the state has filed there's 7 allegations. However, the state will be abandoning allegations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the state will only be proceeding on allegations 6 and 7. Allegation number 6 alleges that you, Esteban Avalos Jr., failed to perform community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
And allegation number 7 alleges that you, Esteban Avalos, failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing an anger management program as ordered by the court in violation of condition 16 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Now, Mr. Avalos, are you pleading true to allegations 6 and 7 freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true because they are true?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Avalos, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Now, Mr. Avalos, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 6 and 7. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Same thing.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Well, it doesn't make a difference because you can leave it on, it doesn't make a difference. We don't use discovery on the MTRP.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Avalos, I also have a set of initials below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment. Also, it has a statement that says, I do not request discovery of evidence. I waive my right to request discovery of evidence and choose to enter a plea of, I'm scratching through guilty or no con, I'm gonna put true. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendants. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, where is that waiver? Defendant's right. Waiver. Trial court certification of defendant's right. For an appeal, do we do that?
Maybe we didn't do that, Judge. Oh, it could be something we didn't do on that one. I got it right here.